Oh, it'll eventually change, we know. So I kind of take it while it's here as well. I have nothing to return to you today. And I don't believe I have any kind of answers or anything in your ear training book to show you today either. Because I don't believe I assigned any of your training homework for today, which is a little bit unusual. But last class, as you know, those of you that were here, we spent a long time focusing on the minor mode, singing the minor three forms of the minor scale, and getting used to singing, a little bit more used to singing melodies in the minor mode, which is a big change from what we've been doing all the way up until this point. Okay, so what I'd like to do is take advantage of this little bit of extra time that we have, and I'd like to go straight into the sight singing book. If you could open that one up to page 161. We're going to start with a rhythm today. And then after that, I'm going to give you some information about your next rhythm quiz, which will need to be videotaped, kind of like you did for the first minute of this class. All right, so on 161, let's look at rhythm 1024. This is definitely one of the rhythms that I'm going to assign or dole out to several of you for videotaping for your rhythmic quiz this unit. And as you know from last class, we're focusing still on the subdivision of the beat, but we're dealing with meters where the quarter note does not represent the beat. So that's what I call less common meters. And you can see in 1024, for instance, that the eighth note serves as the beat here, because we're in 3/8. Therefore, we have to just think quickly that the 16th note is our division, which is what we're going to tap, and the 32nd note, or the three beamed groups of notes, are going to be our subdivisions, which we will say 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a, etc., etc. Okay? So how about I give you all, let me give you 30 seconds to a minute, and take a look at 1024 and just think to yourself in your mind how that's going to sound and what you're going to count. Okay, I'll come back to you in a minute. So it makes sense that your tempo that you end up deciding to use should be based on how fast you want to take the subdivisions, right? Because those are the fastest parts. So it's imperative to hear the underlying subdivision of the beat in your mind here before beginning. Do you want to take it at a tempo where the subdivision is or do you want to take it where the subdivision is more like which one is more manageable perhaps or controllable? Well, for everyone it's different. But I'd like you to go as slow as necessary in order to maintain accuracy, which is the main thing, I think, for these rhythms and melodies in this class. So, let me see if I can start us off with a fairly decent tempo. Let's all read 1024 together. So I'm going to give you a full measure of 3, and then we'll come in on the downbeat. How about a tempo of 1E and a 2E and a 3? 1, 2, 3, and a 1, 2, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and 1, 3, a 1, 3, a 1, 2, 3, and a 1E and 2E and 3E and a 1. Rest and rest. Yes. Okay, good. I don't believe in your entire Aural skills career with me me. I don't believe I've ever required you to go a certain fast tempo or speed. Whatever's most comfortable for you to get it accurate. In 1024, how many beats does that quarter note at the end of the first line, how many beats does that last for? 2, yeah. It looks strange to think that a quarter note in this case it holds for 2 beats, but it does in this particular meter. So be aware of that. I have, I don't know if I've told you before, but I believe with sight reading at the keyboard or with your primary instrument, also with rhythms like this, I think looking a few notes to 1 beat ahead as you're performing can help your accuracy. I may have mentioned before that it's one of the miracles of musical perception in the mind and the brain, that your eyes can be looking at something a little bit ahead and still processing and performing something a little bit behind. Okay? So, you know, we as humans, we have that advantage. I don't believe animals have that ability. So let's just do 1024 one more time for good measure, no pun intended. And then I'll give you the ones that I want you to do for your videotape. Okay, so one more time through 1024. How about a tempo of 1, 2, and go. 1, 2, 3, and go. 1, 2, and go. 1, and a 2, and a 3, and 1, 3, a 1, 3, a 1, 2, 3, and a 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and a 1. Yep. I don't anticipate many rhythmic problems at all, if any, for this unit, so I'm content not to spend too much time on the rhythms out of the sightseeing book this unit, even though I don't want to forget them completely. I don't want to forget them completely. Now, you know what, rather than telling you which rhythm, oh, well, I do have this entered into Canvas, so I'm going to see if I can bring it up on the screen, and then it'll be easier for you to just see what you need to do and what you're assigned rhythm-wise this unit. That's a good start. Okay, so when you get into assignments, under the heading Sightseeing Quizzes, you want to click on Unit 2 Rhythm Quiz, and this should give you the information that you need. I don't know if you can see it from where you are, but Sydney, I've given you 1029, and I've also got a teeny bit of explanation for some of these. Kieran, who's not here, 1024. Dusty, 1019 and 1020. Did I mention last time that 1019 and 1020 I wanted you to treat as just one exercise? Just go from one line to the next without stopping. Zoe, also 1019 and 20. Riley, 1029. Riley, 1024. Maddie, 1019 and 20. Lane, 1024. Natalia, 1029. Noah, 1019 and 20. Daniel, 1024. Haley, 1029. Preston, 1029. Hannah, 1024. And Colson, 1019 and 20. So while you have your books open, I just explained that those of you that have 1019 and 1020, just pretend that it is a single exercise that has 2 lines of rhythm. You don't need to stop. You can just ignore the ending bar line at the end of the first line and just go right into the second line because they're in the same meter. They're in the same meter. Now, for those that I have assigned 1029 to, I think I put it at the very top there. For rhythm 1029, perform line 1, followed by line 2 without stopping in between. So treat it as a 1 8-measure long example. So for those that have 1029, I know it has 2 parts where you're supposed to, like, I think, do the rhythm with both hands at the same time. That's not how I would like you to do that. I would like you to just perform the top line and then go right into the bottom line as if it were a separate or second line. Okay. And that way all of our rhythms are very similar in length. You know, one doesn't have just like 3 measures and one has like 12 measures or something like that. Does anyone have any, oh, and by the way, when did I put the due date for these things? I think it's a Monday. I put it on October 12th. October 12th is when I'd like you to have your rhythm video sent in to me by. Yeah, October 12th is a Monday. And the way I set it up here in Canvas, you should just be able to upload your video in Canvas like you did last time. I don't believe I had any problems with anyone's rhythm video last time, so if you just keep it the same, that should work perfectly. And the reason I do this again is, number one, so we don't forget about rhythm, but number two, I don't do the all-class sightseeing quizzes in this semester anymore where we used to have a rhythm, because I just think class time is too precious in a shortened semester where sometimes all students can't be here due to COVID-related reasons. So that's again my rationale for that. All right, any questions before we go to some sightseeing melody? Okay. Then that's there for you to, if you forget what you're assigned, just go to the Unit 2 Rhythm Quiz on Canvas and you'll be able to be reminded of that. Now, in the sightseeing book, let's turn up to, let's see, what page do I want? How about page 72? Or turn back to page 72, I should say. Because we are dealing with minor melodies now, it's not just the same old humdrum, oh, we're going to sing another melody in a major key, right? This is new, this is a little different. One of the things I'd like to do is I would like to establish the key of B minor using the piano, and we're going to sing the three forms of the minor scale again. And then after that, I'm going to have you all perform melody 5.4 without my help. That's in the key of B minor. That was one that was assigned for today, and I want to hear how you are handling the minor mode on your own without my help. So, for those of you that have perfect pitch, give me your best B. Form of the minor scale first. You know what, if it's okay with you, I'm just going to leave that other mask. It tends to poke into my... Here we go, ready? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, re, te, do, te, re, sol, fa, re, do. It does make it a little harder to breathe using this mask. Get it on air, but that's the trade-off, I guess. All right, same pitch. This time let's sing harmonic minor. Ready? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, re, ti, do, ti, re, sol, fa, mi, re, do. And those of you that were here last time, do you remember which form of the minor scale am I going to ask you to sing before you do any assigned melody? Do you remember? Melodic, yeah, which we're going to do in a second here. And the reason I choose melodic is because it's got the Re 6 and 7 up, and it's got the Re 6 and 7 on the way down. So it has all the bountiful variety in it. Okay, let's do melodic minor right now. Here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, te, re, sol, fa, mi, re, do. I suppose I could check do really quickly before we sing 5.4. Yeah, how's that? far so good. Now, as I said, I would like you all to perform it. I'll get you started. We know that this is hand signs, and I'll give you almost a full measure. You come in on the lead of beat 2. So we're in compound meter, we're tapping 3 times for every beat. And we don't need to take it fast. You ready? Got your opening do? Here we go. How about a tempo? 1, molly, 2. Down for the low one. Not that, back in the Middle Ages, not that monks in monasteries ever sang in minor keys, they sang in modal keys, but it sounds kind of neat, like you could wake up early in the morning and it sounds kind of like chanting. Isn't that neat? I think that's good. All right, good job, good job. If you can sing the scale, a melodic minor scaling tune, and sing a melody like this, without too much trouble, that's the goal. That's where we want you to be getting to this unit. Okay. And by the way, I should mention, is it next class? Yeah, next class on Monday. That's when I'm going to start bringing the bag back for minor melodies. And I'll be drawing, I think, for this class 3 names per class, because this is quite a large class. So, all right. But the more people we have, the better sound we have when we sing together as an ensemble. The next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to go through, let me keep a look at the time here. Yeah, why not do this? Can we go to 516? Turn the page, look at melody 516. And I know 516 is in the key of C minor, but we're so close with the B minor that we've got. I think since none of us here, I believe, none of us has perfect pitch. Let's just sing it as if we were in B minor, just sing it a half step lower. Okay? So 516 is what I'd like to look at next. By the way, the repeat in 516 you do not need to observe. You can just go straight through there. And this is again one of the ones assigned for next time. Who knows? Well, we'll see. I don't know if I'll quiz on this one or not next class, but we'll see. All right, can we all sing the melodic minor scale one more time? I think the do is about here. Do. That's not good too. Sorry, melodic minor scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, se, le, sol, la, mi, re, do. Oh, can we arpeggiate the tonic chord, please? Do, me, sol, do, sol, me, do. Incidentally, as you turn to the page, 516 is in a section now where we get raised 7 and lowered 6 scale degrees are possible. So there's a group of melodies where I guess we could have sung harmonic minor, but that's okay. Where we're going to be singing lay mixed with tea. Sounds like a good recipe. What do you like in your tea? I like lay. Okay. What do we start on in 516 for this key? What syllable? That's right. This is hand signing. Let's give it a sight read. Ignore the repeat. I'll give you almost a full measure. How about a tempo of 1, 2. Me, do, re, mi, fa, sol, re, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Me, do, mi, do. sense of minor. I don't think they should be too hard or too challenging. I understand singing the different versions of scale degree 6 and 7, certainly a new concept, but I have a feeling that just singing the minor third versus the major third in the major mode, I don't think that poses too much of a problem. I think the ear just kind of latches onto that, locks into that, and says, hey, we're in minor, so it's going to sound nice. All right, the last thing I want to do before we leave this book is I want to sight read through 517. And I want to sight read through this because it is a canon, and I think we might have enough students here to treat it as a four-part canon. This one I am going to change or get a new do for. It is in the key of D minor. Let's see how our B minor was. Yeah, that's pretty good for B minor. All right, let's shift keys. Just for variety, can we sing a harmonic minor scale? Harmonic minor scale. Here we go, ready? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, re, ti, do, ti, re, sol, fa, re, re, do. Wow, some people are down in the pit. Do, sol, re. Okay. Do your best sight reading through this. For some reason, it looks like this should be in cut time to me, so you don't have to conduct and tap so many things, but it's not. It's in 4/4, so looks like we have to conduct it in, conduct it in 4 and tap it as if it were in that as well. All right, here we go. I want a tempo of 1 and 2 and ready and read. Do, wish we had more time in this class, but is that sufficient that we can already divide into groups of 4? Let's see, how many do we have here today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And with me, that's 12. So 3 people to a part. Who wants, let's see, I better assign the groups. You 3 guys in the back, you can be a group. And then Hailey and Daniel and, let's have Dusty. So you can hear them in stereo behind you. You'll be a group, and then you 3 ladies, you can be a group. And then Hannah and Colson and myself will be a group. Now, the question is, who wants to be the leaders in this camp? All right, I guess we'll do it. Okay? You ladies, can you be group 2? And here, can I have group 3? And guys, can you bring up the rear, so to speak? Okay? So when my group gets to the downbeat of measure 3, ladies, you're going to start at the beginning. And when they get to the downbeat of every 2 measures, then you're going to start, and then after 2 measures, then you guys are going to start at the beginning. Okay? Let's just give it a try, right? What do we got to lose? It's not like it's for a performance or an audience or anything like that. Here we go. How about a tempo of 1, 2, 4. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Well, it does work out pretty well. Do you want to try it once more before we move on to something else? How about this? At least, just the first group, since you're part of my group, I'm going to be picky. When we're done, can we just go right back to the beginning and sing it a second time so that the people in the back or left kind of hanging by themselves? Okay, let's try one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and set. Anyways, he was writing a piece, and it's like he's had the same chord for this piece sounding for like 6 years. Have you ever seen this? And like just this year, sometime he's getting a change of chord. So like all these people are gathering together around wherever this is being performed, and the next chord of the piece is like.
It was John Cage.
It was John Cage. Is that who it was? Thank you. Yeah. I thought that was really interesting. That is wild. That's what you call minimalistic music. If we can get there in Theory 4, we will. We'll see what we can do and study a little bit of that music, but man, that's taking things to the extreme. So, all right, no more, how about no more sightseeing today? Let's shift gears to the ear training book. And eventually, I'm going to need us to be on page 135. In the ear training book. All right, now, you may, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that, well, because we're singing minor melodies now from the sightseeing book, our harmonic dictations and I believe also our melodic dictations are going to shift to minor. So, for the remainder of this unit here, we're going to work on harmonic dictations in minor keys. Again, it's not a completely new thing because, you're so used to harmonic dictations, but it is a new mode. It is not major anymore. So, we're still going to be listening for the same chords that we did last unit. That is primary triads in root position, like 1, 4, 5. But we're also going to be responsible for the cadential 6, 4 in minor, and for the first inversions of 1, 4, and 5. So, same chord palette as we had last unit, it's just that we're shifting to the minor mode. Now, there's a couple things you need to know about harmonic dictation, harmonic progressions in the minor mode. For this class, and for for all of our harmonic dictations, notice the scale that I've written up here, the scale degrees. Just by looking at the scale syllables, which form of the minor scale am I using for harmonic dictation? The harmonic minor scale, that's right. Okay? So notice that I've got lowered 6, lay, but I've got raised 7 or T. That's the scale we're going to be dealing with when we do our harmonic dictations. Let's see here. So, a couple things I want to point out to you and remind you. When we do a harmonic dictation now in minor, I know this is pretty obvious, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Instead of writing our normal capital ones, we're going to have to write the lowercase ones. Right? And if we hear one in first inversion, it's going to be that. And our fours can't be major anymore. They have to be minor. And the same thing with the first inversion of the fours. They have to be lowercase. And even more important than that, perhaps, is this. You heard me preach last year in Theory 1 and even Theory 2 that when you're in a minor key and you have the note T, you have to raise it with an accidental, writing an accidental note. So, all this while we've been doing harmonic dictations in major keys, and you don't have to use any accidentals. But if you hear T in the bass now, or if you hear T in the soprano, because we're dictating bass and soprano, you have to put an accidental on it now that we're in minor. You have to raise it by half step. And so that means most often, you're going, if you hear T in the bass or the soprano, you're going to have to apply a natural to it or a sharp. I suppose technically, like if we were in the key, strange key of G sharp minor or D sharp minor or something like that, you would have to apply a double sharp to it, but I don't think we get into strange keys like that. So when you raise T, remember to put your natural or your sharp, whatever it may be, on that pitch, wherever it occurs in the bass or wherever, if you hear it in the soprano. By the way, for those of you that like to attempt to dictate the inner voices, even though you don't have to, if you come across T in there, you would definitely have to put an accidental on there as well, raise it as well. Okay, now what I would like to do is I would like to orient us in the key of E minor, because we are going to work, practice, or listen to number 2 on page 135. Number 2 on page 135. And just for the sake of ease of playing, do you see the first chord in number 2? Can you raise the bass note of the first chord? Can you raise it an octave? In other words, instead of that E way down in the pit, just bring it up an octave, and that's where I'm going to be playing the bass. So instead of the first chord, being something really stretched out like this, I'm just going to raise the bass an octave and start like that. I'm not going to change the inversion or anything. Well, now that I made a point to point out that we're using the harmonic minor scale for harmonic dictations, can we sing a harmonic minor scale? In minor. So after I sing do, me, sol, me, do, fa, le, do, le, fa. Have we done this? We haven't done this before, have we? Okay, well we know that the 4 chord in minor is fa, le, do. Sorry, let's just do it all together. I think we'll be able to get it. Ready? Do, re, sol, re, do, fa, le, do, re, fa. Okay. Let's see. Here's the first chord again. Bass, tenor, alto, soprano. All right, do the best you can here. Let's hear it again, second time. Let's hear it a third time. To me, the second chord perhaps might pose the most challenging part of this whole example. But if you listen to because there's a big leap between the first bass note and the second bass note. But if you listen to the soprano, I think that should help clarify what the bass note is, because the soprano has to always fit into the harmony that you choose. So use that information to your advantage if you have the soprano. Let's hear it a fourth time. ask you this. Did you hear T somewhere? Did you remember to raise it with an accidental? Good. See, here I thought somebody was humming before, but it's a marimba. Why is somebody humming in nature? All right, let's listen to it one more time and then see what you have. When I show the answer here, I think I might start with the soprano. I heard T right here has to be raised with an accidental. I hope your soprano looks similar to that. Just no, 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 mi, sol, do. Now, if this soprano note is do, and we had a large leap up, did it go up to fa or did it go up to sol? What would make the most sense? Fa, that's right. Fa. Because that way this can be what we expect. When fa is in the bass, that can be a 4 chord. And it went back down to do. The bass did the opposite of what the soprano voice did here. So we should have sol. Whoops. I don't mind which direction you put your stems on these. We're not doing all 4 voices. But you should have sol and then T with an accidental. And then finish off with do again. Oops. I'm going to fill out the chord. What's in this chord again? 5. And then the next one should be 5, 6. 5, 6. Right? When T is in the bass, it's 5, 6. How do you do? I don't know, I think there's just some colors in the minor scale that the ear can pick up on that you don't hear in the major scale. And again, I just think it's really refreshing. I mean, I'm so thankful that we have minor in addition to major. I mean, can you imagine if music all we had was major? That would get kind of bland, maybe a little boring playing after a while. Before we go, let me see if I can go to YouTube and show you a couple things. When I think of the key of E minor, you know, sometimes, especially with minor keys, I don't know why, I really like to immerse myself. I don't mean meditation or anything, but I really like to immerse myself in that particular tone key, whatever key it is. And we were dealing with E minor, and one of the things that I can think of from E minor, we can just skip this. You guys know this Chopin piece, famous in E minor? This is one of the things I think of when I think of E minor. I don't know why, but it helps me get into the like if you really needed to channel that key and really remember where do is, that would really help me. I think it would. Then, on the other end of the spectrum, we can also go go to this. Do you guys know the band Metallica? Or if you've heard of them? Let's see here. I don't know, see why it's, there it is. Do you guys know this song here? This is in the key of E minor. And I don't know why, but I think of, when I hear E minor, I kind of think of this piece. And let me just play a little bit of this for you to, again, to really instill the key in my ear. Hear that E? Yeah. That sounds like a four chord to me. That's A minor. That's something like that. That's E minor. I don't know, it just really speaks to me, just when I hear it. You guys ever heard that song? It's really nice. All right, so that's my little spiel on E minor for the day. Maybe next time we'll be in a different key. Let's go. I didn't bring you all down by ending with E minor, did I? Okay. All right, well, that's all the time we have for today, guys. Thanks.